If you're someone who tends to get stuck in a cycle of constant thinking and worry, you're not alone. Overthinking is a common problem that can have a negative impact on our mental health and overall well-being. It can lead to stress, anxiety, and even depression if left unchecked. However, the good news is that it is possible to break the habit of overthinking and learn to quiet the constant chatter in your mind. We'll explore some strategies and techniques that can help you stop overthinking and find peace of mind. Understand what overthinking is. Overthinking can be defined as thinking excessively about a situation or problem beyond what is necessary. It often occurs when we are overwhelmed by our emotions, leading us to ruminate on a situation and get stuck in a cycle of anxious thoughts. This can be anything from going over a past mistake in your head to worrying excessively about something that has not yet happened. Overthinking can lead to feelings of anxiety, guilt, and depression. It's important to remember that while we may not be able to control our thoughts, we can take steps to manage them. When we overthink, we become obsessed with finding answers or solutions to problems that don't even exist. We begin to make assumptions based on what we think might happen in the future, rather than looking at the facts in the present. This often leads to negative thinking, where we focus on the worst-case scenarios and create stories in our minds that only make us feel worse. The key to managing overthinking is to become aware of it and learn to recognize when it's happening. Pay attention to your thoughts and try to identify patterns that indicate you're engaging in unhelpful thinking. Once you become aware of your thoughts, you can take steps to stop overthinking and get out of your head. Train your brain to stay in the present moment. One of the biggest reasons people find themselves stuck in a cycle of overthinking is because they can't seem to stay in the present moment. Instead, their mind wanders off into the future or past and spends time ruminating on worries and regrets. To break this cycle and stop overthinking, it's important to practice staying in the here and now. One way to do this is by using mindfulness techniques such as meditation or breathing exercises. When you notice your mind wandering, gently bring it back to the present moment. Focus on what's happening right now, the sights, sounds, and smells around you. Notice the feeling of your body in the chair or on the floor. Observe your breath without trying to change it. Mindfulness can also be used as a tool to gain insight into how your thoughts are affecting your emotions. For example, when you start to feel anxious, observe what's going through your mind and how it's making you feel. Then, you can challenge those thoughts and reframe them in a more helpful way, which we'll cover in the next few sections. Staying in the present moment is easier said than done, so don't be too hard on yourself if it takes some practice. Accept that you can't control everything. When something doesn't go as planned, we often feel like it's our fault and we should have done something differently to prevent it. But the truth is, we can't control every single outcome in life. We can't always make things turn out how we want them to. The first step towards being able to stop overthinking is accepting that we can't control everything. It's okay to make plans and do our best to execute them, but at the end of the day, some things are just out of our hands. We need to be able to accept this and move on, rather than spending time worrying about what could have been different or better. When you find yourself overthinking a situation, remind yourself that it isn't in your power to change it. Once you let go of the need to control, you can start to see things for what they really are. This will help you to stay focused on the present moment instead of getting caught up in the what-ifs and should-haves of the past. Accepting that we can't control everything is a key component of learning how to stop overthinking. It can be hard to let go of the need to control, but once you do, you will start to see how freeing it can be. Challenge your thoughts. One of the most effective ways to stop overthinking is to challenge the thoughts you have. This involves recognizing when you're overthinking, and then asking yourself questions to challenge the validity of the thoughts. For example, if you're having an anxious thought about an upcoming event, you can ask yourself, what evidence do I have that this is true, or are there any other possible explanations for what I'm thinking? In some cases, you may realize that the thought has no basis in reality. In other cases, you may recognize that the thought is based on a fear or assumption that is not supported by facts. When you take the time to challenge your thoughts, you can help yourself gain perspective and identify healthier coping mechanisms for dealing with the stress. Reframe your thinking. This means looking at the situation from a different perspective and allowing yourself to find alternative ways to look at it. Reframing your thinking can help you gain perspective, reduce stress, and move forward with clarity. When it comes to overthinking, ask yourself why you're stuck in this pattern. Take an honest look at the thoughts you're having and challenge them. Identify any irrational thoughts or assumptions that may be getting in the way. Are you jumping to conclusions or seeing things in a distorted way? When reframing your thinking, try to look at the bigger picture. Consider the potential positive outcomes of the situation and focus on what could go right rather than what could go wrong. Find new perspectives by asking questions such as what else could this mean, or what is the best thing I can do right now? Reframing your thinking can also help you find solutions that are more realistic and achievable. Finally, remember that you are the master of your own destiny. You have the power to choose how you think about any situation and how you want to respond to it. You don't have to be controlled by fear or anxiety. Reframe your thinking and take control of your life. Practice mindfulness. Mindfulness can be a powerful tool to help you reduce overthinking. Practicing mindfulness means staying aware of your thoughts, feelings, and emotions in the present moment without judgment. It helps to prevent rumination and encourages acceptance of what is. To practice mindfulness, take time each day to sit in silence and observe your thoughts without judgment. Acknowledge each thought as it arises and then let it go. When your mind starts to wander, gently bring your attention back to the present moment. This will allow you to become aware of what you are thinking and feeling, as well as how you are responding to those thoughts and feelings. You can also use mindfulness techniques such as deep breathing and progressive muscle relaxation to help you stay focused on the present moment. Deep breathing helps reduce anxiety and increase relaxation, while progressive muscle relaxation helps reduce tension in the body. Finally, try adding a few minutes of mindfulness practice into your daily routine. You can do this while drinking your morning coffee, taking a break from work, or even before going to bed at night. Over time, you will become more comfortable with being in the present moment and be able to reduce overthinking. Thanks for watching the video. Make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on the bell notifications to be notified of our next upload. And remember, the mind and body is simply a machine that you have control over. Don't let such a powerful machine run on autopilot.